Hi everyone. Welcome to our live event today. I'm your host Amelia. Today we have Tomer with us, the CMO of Kima Network. He will be providing an in-depth introduction to Kima Network for the users of the CoreSky platform. Kima Network is a project that has aroused significant attention within the CoreSky community. Currently, users can subscribe to the Kima Network's primary market allocation on the CoreSky platform. Our community members are very interested in the Kima Network team, its strengths, roadmap, and also future development. So without further ado, let's have Tomer answer these questions for us. Tomer, please start by introducing yourself. Sorry, there seems to be an incident. We're calling Tomer right now. Okay. He's connecting.
Hey guys, sorry, just heard the question as I joined. Just making sure that I'm audible. As you all know, this Twitter Spaces is usually very challenging. So, am I audible? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Presenting myself briefly then. 25 years digital marketeer. I'm an angel investor for the last 12 years, writing for Forbes and Cointelegraph about DeFi and blockchain infrastructure, and the proud CMO of Kima Network. Started also as an investment opportunity for me, like to all of you guys. And then I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to become part of the team and joined as a CMO. That's it in a nutshell. Happy to be here today.
Thanks for the introduction, Tomer. So now let's get into some questions that our community is eager to hear about. First off, could you tell us what Kima Finance is?
Of course, I will be happy to. Then Kima Network is an interoperability communication protocol. We are basically serving as the layer that unifies and connects all financial ecosystems, decentralized or centralized, with no smart contracts, no users, and no liquidity. To simplify it, you can imagine Kima as the fiber optics that are connecting continents for internet connectivity. So we're all using it, but we do not even know that they exist, and we're all users of it. That's what Kima basically does. We're connecting any blockchain to any blockchain, and any centralized financial ecosystem to any blockchain, meaning that we're at the moment, the only completely decentralized communication protocol that can connect your bank to your Ethereum wallet directly, your Robinhood app to Solana, your Solana wallet to your Bitcoin wallet address, and vice versa. That is the magic of Kima, and that's what we're doing.
Great, that's very thorough explanation. Thank you. My next question will be, how did Kima Finance get started? We'd love to hear about its origins.
So thank you for your question again. Kima started with our CEO, Eitan, who was also the first inventor of Agis project, part of the original Agis project team in 2013, 2014, who invented the first cold wallet in the world. It was basically the first, you could say, MPC wallet that was used in order to create a cold wallet between your phone and your browser. From there, his ideas about unifying blockchains and connecting all liquidity sources into one huge streamlined source started. And by trying to unify and connect all of the liquidity sources on all chains into one huge liquidity source that will give the Web3, the blockchain ecosystem, a strong presence and one decentralized, unified power of liquidity to serve all of the ecosystem. The original team, Tsachi Guy and Eitan, encountered various challenges. Most of them were the fact that we have smart contracts that we rely on, which are very, very unreliable, to say the least, because they're very, very easily hacked most of the times. And due to the fact that different blockchains are speaking different languages and cannot communicate with each other. All of these brought the team to start rolling out with Kima Finance Project, which is today known as the Kima Network.
Wow, that's very interesting story. So as you said, one of your standout feature, one of your fortes is doing away with smart contracts. I'm wondering, like, how does that work? Can you explain this innovative approach to us?
Yes, of course, I will be happy to. Then Kima is operating as an interoperability communication protocol. We are basically, this is going to be a little bit complex, then I will explain exactly how it works. So Kima serves as a blockchain that manages assets on all other blockchains. It has no direct users, it has no direct liquidity, and the only thing that exists on the Kima network actually is the validators themselves. How it actually works. So normally, if you would like to send 100 USDC from Solana to Ethereum, you will have smart contracts on both ends that will be operating together, and each activates the other in a completely decentralized manner by code. Smart contracts are basically softwares. I'm sending now 100 USDC to Solana, to the Solana smart contract side, in order to get these 100 USDC on the Ethereum side. So once 100 USDC has been sent, the smart contract on Solana will confirm it and will initiate a smart contract transaction on the Ethereum side. Once the Ethereum smart contract receives the activation, it will be releasing 100 USDC to the designated address. These rely on two softwares, on two smart contracts, usually, what we call a bridge. The problem is that if I'm able to trick one side of the bridge that something is happening, but it actually doesn't happen by exploiting the code, by finding loopholes, hacks, and exploits in it, and using them in a malicious way, I will be able to drain one side of the bridge, right? I will be able to steal everything on the other side. That's what happened today, and that's what happens today. That's we are hearing these stories every week, right? That another bridge has been hacked, 10 million have been stolen, 5 million have been stolen, 1.5 million have been stolen, 20 million have stolen, and protocols are dying daily by hackers being able to hack into the code, use exploits, and drain out the funds. It happens for bridges that are operating with both smart contracts and with oracles. Kima is operating in a completely different way that is theoretically unhackable in 3 theoretically unhackable layers. So I'm going to send the 100 USDC from my previous example directly to from Solana to Ethereum with no smart contracts. So let's begin. I'm sending 100 USDC to the Solana smart contract. This is similar to the process that has been done before. Now I'm pausing here. I forgot to explain. On every on every blockchain network, Kima creates a Kima relay, or you may say a Kima connector, that connects that specific blockchain to all the Kima network ecosystem. to all the blockchains that are connected to Kima network, and to all of the banks, financial apps, fintech solutions that are connected also to the Kima network, and we'll get to this in a second. So this Kima relay, you can think of it as your Ethernet socket, your internet socket in your wall, and we're connecting to it via an internet cable, right? So the smart contract on Solana received 100 USDC. That specific smart contract is already connected to the Kima network. It is plugged into the Kima relay, and by that connected to the underneath layer that is connected to all the rest of the blockchains. The smart contract sends a message to the network. He sends a message with no assets in it. That message now includes few simple tasks. It says, I received 100 USDC on Solana. Please send, once confirmed, 100 USDC on Ethereum to that address. The message goes down in the pipe to the Kima network, arrives to the Kima network, and here's something very magical is happening. As I said before, Kima network is a network that operates without liquidity, without smart contract, and without users. It has basically only validators. At this stage, 2/3 of the Kima validators will have to physically see and confirm that physically 100 USDC have already arrived on a specific address from a specific transaction that was reported in the message sent by that specific smart contract to the Kima network. Once 2/3 of the validators physically see that the money indeed arrived and indeed is there, 2/3 of these, all of the validators basically that confirmed, are now revealing a shard that contains a piece of the private key for an MPC vault located on the Ethereum blockchain. All of them are releasing CPU core shard stored on the CPU core. A shard stored on a CPU core. We're utilizing Intel's technology called TEET to do the following trick. And decrypting these and forming the seed phrases required for the MPC vault. Once done on the MPC vault side on Ethereum, the blockchain itself basically initiates the transaction of 100 USDC to the address. Three theoretically unhackable things happened here. First, we did not use any smart contracts. Second, basically, to explain, if we did not use any smart contract, it means that we only sent a message. We did not send assets. If we did not send assets, you cannot basically steal anything, right? I sent a message. It contains no assets in it. Once it arrived to the blockchain, 2/3 of the validators had to physically see and confirm that indeed 100 USDC have arrived to Solana from a specific place to a specific spot. Once they confirm it, they are releasing a shard stored on the CPU core of each validator node. To those of you who do not know, guys, the CPU core of any computer or any server, any validator, is the most secure piece of hardware that your computer has. It's basically the brain, and this is the heart of the brain inside of it. Theoretically unhackable, and again, it's decrypted, and you need to decrypt each and every one of the shards, and then decrypt all of them together, forming the seed phrase to the MPC vault on Ethereum in order to initiate the transaction that we gave in that example. These are three theoretically unhackable layers of safety and security that is doing all of this process that is sound very long and complicated, guys, at the speed of light. Exactly as we're having this Twitter space, which is basically has zero latency, right? It's the speed of the internet. It goes directly from me to you guys all over the world. It has no latency, but operates in the speed of light. Same thing happens on the Kima network process. The only latency was on Solana side, in my example, that was resolving the smart contract was resolving the first transaction. And then on Ethereum side, by the MPC vault, sending the money and resolving that transaction on the Ethereum network to facilitate the deal itself. Between it, everything that happened on the Kima side, on the Kima network side, happened, guys, at the speed of light. Zero latency, and basically you did not even feel us. Now, more than that, everything that just happened in the Kima network with no smart contracts, not only happened in the speed of light, but happened even without you guys even knowing that it happened as users. Once the dApp is connected to the Kima network, for example, on Solana side, to do the interoperability action on Ethereum, the user do not even know that they were just traveling on the Kima network. For the user, their transaction completely transparent on the dApp happened from Solana and Ethereum like magic. Imagine it as this conversation probably is using, I don't know, let's say Cisco infrastructure to have this VoIP amazing Twitter space. Everything happens without us even knowing that we're customers of Cisco. We don't even know, most of us, who Cisco are in that example, right? But we're all users of it and we're all using it daily without even knowing. That's exactly how the Kima network operates. Sorry if that was too long.
No, it was fascinating. It's with a fascinating mechanism with a very strong reason to existence. I'm sure our audience is totally intrigued. But addition to this, what you just explained, what would you say that some other key features of Kima Finance that the users should know about?
Thank you. Then, first of all, as you already know and understand, it's basically the most secure possible way, theoretically, to move assets, digital assets, from any blockchain to any blockchain without compromising security and the lowest possible costs that you will not even feel it because it will be micro payments that you guys will not even feel that they exist. And the most interesting and amazing thing is that Kima is the first and only blockchain communication protocol that is able to unify and connect the financial centralized and the financial decentralized ecosystems. Due to the fact that we have no smart contracts, we are the only blockchain communication protocol, and I think basically the only decentralized protocol on Earth that has both an API and an SDK for the centralized world. Because we have no smart contracts and our blockchain is so unique, every centralized entity can just connect to our API and send requests to any dApp on any one of the blockchains connected to the Kima network. That is revolutionary, guys, in ways that we cannot even fathom and understand yet. We're the only blockchain, and again, we're not a blockchain that competes with blockchain, guys. It's important to say we're a blockchain because that's the nature of our protocol. But we're not a blockchain that needs to fight with other layer ones and layer twos and start bringing dApps to our ecosystem. We are not. We're unifying and making peace, you can say, between everyone. We are not competing with anyone. We don't have dApps. We don't have users. We don't have liquidity. We're not in this TVL fight. We're not fighting over protocols. We're not fighting over users. Every user that connects from every dApp is basically now a user of the Kima network. By connecting one dApp, we're gaining all of their users in a snap. All of their users became users of Kima network from any blockchain that connects to Kima. Then by enabling, guys, again, going back to a connection between the centralized to the decentralized, we are eliminating the requirement of intermediaries to facilitate fiat on-ramp, off-ramp tasks. We are enabling the actual trading and facilitation of RWA deals, right? RWA, as you all know, is like a very hyped word now. But someone ever stopped for a second and thought, how will I actually get paid for this RWA asset? How will this RWA asset arrive from this imaginary blockchain thing to my bank account? Kima is the only thing that basically makes this tradable and liquid, right? We can move any RWA asset between any financial ecosystem. We're actually making it usable and liquid. Then Kima has many, many virtues that at the moment are absent in our Web3 ecosystem and solves, I can say, most of the integration and usability challenges that prevent the true mass adaptation of the old to the new. It became a hype saying, now everybody is saying onboarding the next 1 billion users from Web 2 to Web 3, onboarding the next zillion users from CeFi to DeFi. All kind of these buzzwords we hear all the time with various projects. Some of them are very promising and indeed are going to do what they're saying. Most of them are using the hype. Kima is actually the layer that can actually unify and connect all of it and bring it into a reality. Then I'd say that this is probably the most prominent and strongest strengths that the Kima network has. Oh, and excuse me, I forgot almost. We're completely agnostic, guys, now and in the future, to the technology that is being used, to the blockchain that you are using, to the digital asset, shape, kind, or form, now and in the future. This is very unique and basically makes Kima not only, you can say, theoretically immortal to unify these ecosystems, but basically the most accessible nowadays to date for both the centralized and the decentralized.
Thanks for explaining. So moving on, my next question will be, how do you see the Kima Finance fit into the current market? What gap is it trying to fill? What problem is it trying to tackle?
So, as I already explained in the previous answers, I think I kind of touched it most. We're solving basically the security problem that at the moment prevents most of us from moving assets from one chain to another. It, and of course, prevents the centralized world to connect to the decentralized world because no one takes responsibility of these, right? It's completely decentralized smart contracts managing these. Then brings to the next problem that we're solving, the intermediary problem. At the moment, to do everything on-chain, off-chain, to move between the centralized and decentralized, we are relying on intermediaries to take the risk for us, right? They're basically buying the risk from the banks, from the financial systems or whatever's. They're buying the process. They're providing liquidity in the middle from US dollars in your bank to USDC on a Solana and vice versa, and are charging fees on the way. With Kima, you do not need it. With Kima, you can basically connect your bank directly to any blockchain wallet that you have. You can connect to any financial fintech app that you have, to any blockchain that you're using. These are, I'd say, the strongest things I can touch upon in the sensor. And of course, the costs. We are making everything so cheap that you do not even feel that we exist. Most cases, we are going to be much, 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 much significantly cheaper than, including the fees, than the actual transaction cost, the gas that you would pay. But because we're going to work with such big volumes, we're going to provide quite enough yield to all of the liquidity providers. Touching on another point, Kima basically solves the risk, most of the risks, of course, of liquidity, of yield farming on chain, right? At the moment when we are providing liquidity, we're basically giving our stables to a smart contract to manage them for us, to lend them, to stake them, to trade with them, to do whatever is needed for the protocol to do. And that protocol, again, is a smart contract. In Kima, we're providing very, very competitive yields just by providing liquidity to a MPC vault that does not move your assets. So imagine guys, that you're just keeping your assets on a wallet, on an MPC vault that has no smart contract now running things in it, but the whole Kima network manages it. And you're generating the same yield without all the risk of allowing smart contract to manage it directly. These and others are various problems that we're solving and innovating and disrupting.
That's very insightful. Now let's talk about the target audience. I want to know, like, who is Kima Finance specifically built for?
So, Kima network is built for everyone. For you as the users, again, you do not even know that it exists, right? To give an example, some of you probably going to websites and then you see a message from like this orange cloud called Cloudflare, and it checks that you're a human and verifies the traffic. So this is a company that provides DDoS attack prevention, right, to websites. We're all users of them. We're all using them daily. We don't even know they exist. Same thing goes with Kima. We're all using them. We're going to be part of the ecosystem without even knowing that we're part of the ecosystem. Then all of the users of all blockchains are our users by definition, going to be our users. The only thing required is for the next user of Kima, which is the developer, to hook up with the Kima relay on its network. So, for example, if it's on Arbitrum, then the DApp on Arbitrum needs to connect to the relay, to the Kima relay on Arbitrum, in order to communicate with all of the other blockchains. That same moment, that DApp, all of its users became Kima's users. So as for the ecosystem, we can say that we have the B2C solution, which is the B2B2C solution. And on other fronts, we have the B2B solutions, which is in front of the devs of both the centralized and decentralized ecosystems. On the centralized ecosystems, our customers are any entity that needs some kind of an interoperability, connection, and usage to the decentralized ecosystems. So every bank, every fintech app, every financial solution, and even you can say every social app, and any app that would like to do something on the blockchain. Imagine from that example that someone creates a WeChat app, and that WeChat app is connected through Kima's API to Solana, to Ethereum, to CoreDAO, to Arbitrum, to Optimism, to Solana, to Near, to whatever, to Bitcoin. So these are all our customers. It can be Weibo, it can be WeChat, it can be Twitter, it can be YouTube, it can be any app that you think of can connect to Kima to whatever interoperability usage they may need. That brings a whole new level of innovation, by the way, guys, that at the moment does not even exist for us in Web3. So imagine that in Twitter, some Twitter app developer will create a Twitter app that once Solana is sent to a specific address, an influencer will tweet something automatically through the API from his Twitter account, his or her Twitter account. So in that case, the Twitter app will connect to Kima network that will connect to Solana smart contract. And once the smart contract receives one Solana with a message of a link to a tweet, that smart contract will initiate a Twitter API call that will retweet that tweet on that influencer's profile. That's completely disruptive, completely revolutionary, and just a tiny small example of what can be done with Kima and who are our users. Imagine that on Bitcoin at the moment, you are locking Bitcoin through some kind of a Kima dApp, locking a Bitcoin and staking Ethereum on Eigenlayer. How crazy is that, right? You're using your BTC to lock an ETH on Eigenlayer. This is completely disruptive, right? We're taking a dumb network and doing something completely disruptive and smart with it on another side, using our unique technology. Bitcoin is a very challenging example, of course, you can understand, because it has no smart contracts also, and it's basically a dumb network that has only Bitcoins on it. How we do it is a call for another day.
Great, good to know. So, which blockchain networks do you currently support? This is something our community is very interested in.
So, as I said previously, guys, we are completely agnostic to the blockchain technology now and in the future due to the unique nature of the blockchain that we're building. So at the moment, we already connected to Tron, connected to Bitcoin, connected to Solana, and connected to any EVM blockchain out there. Technically already onboarded, I believe now it will be probably 20. Last time it was 10, 20 blockchains. And we're basically can connect any blockchain that you can imagine in a matter of hours or days, depending on the technology. There's no such thing, a blockchain or a financial ecosystem of any sort that we cannot connect to Kima. We can theoretically connect everything and to everything in a matter of hours or days, according to the need and the demand.
Excellent. So my next couple of questions will be around tokens. Can you explain the utility of Kima token? How does it benefit users within your ecosystem?
Of course, thank you for the great question. So Kima's token is quite simple to understand in terms of use. Kima is a proof of stake network. Then, of course, validators will have to stake Kima Kima tokens in order to operate the Kima network validator. First use. Second use is every message that is passed on the Kima network requires payment in Kima tokens. So every time that any dApp on any blockchain or any app on any centralized application sends a message through the Kima network, a tiny fraction of Kima tokens are being paid. Imagine it like stamps being used when you are sending a letter in the post office. These are the two uses of Kima network. As what we know as gas token, and of course as proof of stake token needed in order to operate a node.
Great. And also, we know that a lot of people are just so excited waiting for your token launch. And just can you possibly tell us when it's scheduled to happen?
Of course, I will be happy to share. We also sent an update about this the other day on our Telegram group. Then I'm inviting all of you guys to join our Telegram community, our Telegram announcement channel, our Discord, to hear all about our updates. And by the way, on Telegram, we have localized communities in about 20 languages nowadays. Anything going from English to Spanish to Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Arabic, Vietnamese, Russian, you name it. You're welcome to come and get updates in your favorite language. Our launch was aimed for June, as many of you may know, but due to the turbulent markets and instability of current launches, we have decided not to risk the launch and to come back stronger and better in September. As you all are well aware, there is only one chance for first impression, guys. You cannot launch your token twice. Launching a token can be the day that your project is being born and the day that it dies. From vast experience, I did not share it in the beginning. I myself, I have 49 portfolio companies. I'm a strategic advisor of 17 projects. I've seen many launch and reach greatness, and we've seen many that are launching and basically killing themselves at the day of the launch due to failure and misplanning of the whole move by being eager already to meet the market and meet liquidity. Then I hope that helps to explain why we've decided to postpone from June to September. And to simply answer your question in a more simple way, we are launching in September. We have some great launch partners. We're incubated by ChainGPT, which is probably the biggest and probably most successful player in the decentralized launchpads industry today. We're launching with two great partners. One of them already announced that we can reveal, Polkastarter, as many of you know, and another one which is going to be a surprise. We already signed with a few great centralized exchanges, of course, from high tiers, and we're working these days with a few more on a few strategic moves to launch on even bigger and better centralized exchanges, and we hope that we'll be able to nail these deals. Then September. Thank you.
Okay, September. You certainly did the right choice. I totally agree with the part where you said that you can't launch your token twice. So my last question would be, so on which blockchain would you launch your token, and why? Is there like a specific reason why you choose to launch on that particular chain?
Thank you for another important question. Then we are, as you may guess, some of you in the audience, the techie ones, we're a Cosmos SDK blockchain. Then, of course, we're going to be part of the Cosmos ecosystem. Then launching on Cosmos. And in order to provide better stability to our token, we are going to launch also an EVM version of our token on one of the big L2s on Ethereum. It might be Arbitrum, might be Base, might be Polygon. We will see. At the moment, we're getting offers for partnerships with all three, and we will choose soon. So yeah, these are the answers. We're launching on Cosmos because we're Cosmos SDK native, and we're launching on an EVM L2 in order to provide better accessibility and to tap into even more liquidity that exists on the Ethereum-based ecosystem.
Sounds like a lot of coming stuff to anticipate. So thank you, Tamer, for your insights. So through Tamer's sharing, we've learned that Kima is an interpretive-focused blockchain. The Kima protocol provides a solution to the multi-chain liquidity fragmentation problem. It offers developers a seamless, safe, and frictionless way to build solutions that utilize all of the users' liquidity sources, regardless of their current chain. So it's safe to say, no matter what type of Web3 application that people are trying to build on, they can benefit from more liquidity with Kima. So rather than building and maintaining different versions of the dApp on different chains, developers can now build a single version and utilize Kima to transfer liquidity to where it's needed and when it's needed. So currently, Kima is open for subscription on our platform, CoreSky platform, and users interested in Kima can subscribe with great confidence. Thank you again, Tomer. This concludes our live event today. And thank you all for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today and for hosting us here. And if I would like to share only something tiny before we're wrapping this one up with your community. So guys, just wanted to say that CoreSky, indeed has great people behind the ecosystem that I can tell you that worked very, very hard in order to get your community this opportunity to invest in Kima. Kima is a project that is completely oversubscribed. We're ridiculously oversubscribed with $1.7 million with one-sided signed SAFTs that we did not complete due to the overdemand. And we have registered interest of about $4 million now. Getting any dollar in Kima now was very, very, very scarce. Then I would like to take this opportunity also to thank, completely, guys, all yours, guys. You deserve it. Want to thank the people behind the CoreSky, all the team there, for working so hard for you guys without probably even that you guys know about it to get this allocation. And we are really excited to have your amazing community as part of our big family and community. Then thank you for having us and looking forward to meeting you guys again.
Thanks, everybody.